You're with the Sound of Ideas from IdeaStream Public Media. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thank you for staying with us. The heat waves we've been experiencing here in Northeast Ohio have us hungry for ice-cold treats. Luckily, in Northeast Ohio, owners are serving these up by the gallon, the pint, the scoop, and on a stick. For this installment of our food series, The Menu, produced in partnership with Cleveland Magazine, we're talking ice cream, popsicles, and more. And if you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, or the Ohio channel, you'll see us sample these snacks, all in the name of solid journalism, of course. Joining me for this conversation, we've had Jesse Mason, co-owner of Mason's Creamery in Cleveland's Ohio City neighborhood, and Nicole Doria, owner of Pop Culture in Solon. We can't take your calls right now, but we do welcome your thoughts. You can email us at soi@ideastream.org or message us on Instagram at The Sound of Ideas. Here's that sweet conversation. Before we get into snacking on these sweet treats, I want to ask Jesse about moving here and starting Mason's Creamery. You came here from LA in 2013. You make small batches from scratch. Tell us about that approach and why that's worked well for you.
Yeah, small batches for us, at least for me personally, scratches the creative itch. So summertime, we change our flavors daily, which is daunting at times, but we really get to experience the seasonality of things, create our own trends, jump on trends. Really, one of the things that we found when we came to Cleveland was such a welcoming community, and we started off as a mobile ice cream cart going to food truck events and farmers markets, and we kind of stumbled on the building that we're in currently. We were doing a pop-up event for Ohio City Incorporated that turned out to be a protest against the McDonald's that was going in the neighborhood at the time, which was weird, but really, really great and kind of fits in with our ethos. And kind of at the same time, our then council person came up to us and said, hey, there's this building that has been vacant for a couple of years. Do you guys want to take it over? And the rest is history. We found such a great community. All of our neighbors were showing us places that were for sale around there. So live, work, make ice cream, the whole thing.
Okay. Nicole, tell us about your origin story with Pop Culture, how long you've been operating. You also do ice cream pops. You've got a food truck and a space. Tell us about it.
Excuse me. Started in 2019, so 7 years now.
Okay.
And it started as a kind of an accident. I wasn't planning on retiring from my career in the corporate world. I was in executive search, but I had back surgery, decided to hang that up just because it's such a hard business to stop and then restart. So I was hosting a brunch at my house, and I was trying to actually do something creative and make popsicles with alcohol in them.
Oh.
But they kept coming out slushy, and I couldn't quite figure it out. So I made a strawberry basil popsicle with and put it in the Prosecco. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. One of my girlfriends came up to me and said, "This thing is amazing. I've never had a gourmet popsicle. You should start a business." And that's all you ever have to tell an entrepreneur is, you've got a great idea, no one's doing it. And then when I did the research, I was like, well, I could start this business. And that's the origin. And it's evolved. So now it's really ice cream and sorbet on a stick in the shape of a popsicle. And the difference between a scoop ice cream, something you could put a spoon in, and what we make is there's no air whipped into it. So there's a machine when you make ice cream called a batch freezer, and that has blades inside, and it whips air into it. The air is called overrun. So you can adjust the overrun to create the denseness of the product. So that would be the mouthfeel and the texture of the product.
Interesting. So much science behind the ice cream. We've got some ice cream sitting here. We're going to get to trying this immediately because why not? So the first ice cream that I'm going to pass down the line is cookie butter, and this is from Mason's Creamery. I'm going to take a big scoop of it, and I'm going to pass it your way while you tell us about it, Jesse.
Yeah. So again, we change our flavors daily during the summertime, and this is one of several different iterations of cookie butter. This is cookie butter with a cream cake that we make in house. So really nice speculoos base. The cake, you can't go wrong. I don't know.
I'm getting the really good airline cookie vibe from it. It's the Delta
Yes.
airline cookie. I know I probably
Yes.
shouldn't say that, but
it is.
it's one of my favorite things about flying Delta is that Biscoff cookie, the speculoos.
Yes.
Very, very tasty. Thank you for sharing that
good.
with us.
Thank you.
And I'm going to pass another, which is the brown butter vanilla. This is also from Mason's Creamery. And while I pass this and you tell us about it, Jesse, I want to ask you about your recent acknowledgement in Cleveland Scene as being one of the top 3 ice cream places and the photo shoot that was involved with that with Greg Murray.
Greg Murray. Yes, we love dogs, and one of the things that we love is having dogs come to our ice cream shop, and so we were very honored to have him come and do a photo shoot with some dogs that get ice cream. So every puppy that comes gets a free scoop of ice cream. But just really honored to be included in a roundup of really great places here in Cleveland. This ice cream is actually destined for the Tremont Taste of Tremont. We're doing a collaboration with a cookie place called Cookie Boy, and so this is going to be in one of their ice crem sandwiches. And that's another thing that we love about Cleveland is just the collaborative nature of everything. And so try to do a lot of pop-up events and things like that.
I can taste the brown butter in that brown butter
It's really
vanilla.
rich. It is really, really rich.
It's very rich. It's like melting butter on a Pop-Tart when you're a little kid in the microwave, which is something that I did. I'm telling on myself, if that's not something that you did, I just don't know if we understand each other that well. Anybody listening in the audience.
I think I'm going to try that. I have never tried it.
It's amazing.
Do the Pop-Tarts have frosting on them? Or is
Yes.
it? So what's your favorite Pop-Tart?
Cherry.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. The only right answer is the cherry Pop-Tart. Covered in butter. You have to see the butter and then you melt it in the microwave.
Okay.
And
I love
it's
it.
very good. Obviously, butter is very good, as we just learned in the brown butter vanilla ice cream. Now, I want to ask you, Nicole, about your vanilla custard. I'm going to share that right here. I'm going to take a taste of that as we pass that around. Tell us a little bit about the vanilla custard.
It's a traditional custard. Custard has egg in it. And this was made in a batch freezer.
Thank you.
And that accompanies this next item that I'm going to pass around, which I have taken too long to get to. So if you're looking at this, it's a little melty, but this is the creme brulee. And as I understand, Nicole, this was named the best dessert treat on a stick by Cleveland Magazine.
It was.
Tell us about this very tasty creme brulee on a stick.
The creme brulee is vanilla custard with the caramel on the inside. Your traditional creme brulee dessert is a vanilla custard.
And how long does it take to put something like that together? Why put the ice cream on a stick? Why did you decide to go that route?
I always want to be different. If somebody makes, well, the origin of the story was I was making popsicles, and it evolved into let's do something with ice cream. We actually make 70% of our product is vegan.
Oh, okay.
So we were using the vegan base with all different inclusions and flavor profiles. And then started incorporating some dairy products to it. And then when it was during COVID, I came up with, I'm going to make all of my favorite desserts into popsicles. So that is the vanilla custard, and then it has a ribbon of caramel in the middle. Your traditional creme brulee it's vanilla custard, and they brulee the sugar on top.
Okay.
So I did that. We also make a s'mores, so it's our chocolate custard on a stick, and then we slather it with marshmallow. This is all handcrafted marshmallow cream. We roast that, and then we roll it in graham cracker crust.
Okay. Now, are you vegan? Is that why you decided to go the vegan route for 70% of your items?
I'm not vegan, but my stomach doesn't like dairy, so
I see.
it kind of forced me into that.
I see. There are some options for people who have dietary sensitivities at Mason's Creamery, right, Jesse?
There are. And so we always have at least 4 varieties of vegan ice cream. And then plus our soft serve is always dairy-free and vegan. So usually 6 flavors at the shop. Most of our baked goods now are completely vegan. We've got some gluten-free items. Yeah, we just keep everybody in there.
Jesse, let's hear about what you do with Mason's Creamery, the ramen shop that it transforms into.
Yeah. So one of the things that moving to Cleveland, we realized very quickly, it's cold in the wintertime, and everyone will say, oh, I eat ice cream in the wintertime. Some do. I would say that's generally a lie. But one of the things that we love to do on our dates, my wife and I, who own and operate the ice cream shop, we would go to ramen shops in Los Angeles. And when we first moved here, there wasn't that. And so we started making it home and you have to do big batches. And so we were like, oh, maybe we'll offer some at the ice cream shop. And it just sold out so quickly that we started to think maybe we should do this as a pop-up. And so we were doing it once a month, and that was crazy. And then we're like, what if we just turn the winter into ramen season? And so that's what we've done, and it's been really, really great. We've been honored with the response that we've gotten from it, both nationally and locally, and it's such a cool thing for us to be able to switch modes, because you have your creative ice cream mode, and then you have your ramen mode, I guess, and we do specials every weekend, and just try to keep that fresh as well.
Is there any ice cream available when it's ramen season?
So historically, there was always soft serve. Last year was the first year that we started doing our full menu. We reconfigured some kitchen equipment, built some outdoor walk-in freezers, and so now we have our full ice cream menu during the winter and ramen.
You just have to walk outdoors to get to the freezers?
Well, we do. We still have the freezer case. But
Sure,
yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Like, take your big coat,
Exactly.
have a sip of ramen before you go out.
Yes. Just go.
Here on the menu, we always ask at the end of each segment where our guests are eating next. So what's on your radar? It doesn't necessarily have to be ice cream. It can be, but what's up next for you? Where are you eating at here in Northeast Ohio? Nicole, I'll start with you.
There's a new Greek restaurant in Legacy Village called Evu.
You're checking that out?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're actually making their Greek ice cream.
Well, that sounds like a perfect reason to check it out. Okay, so you can get some pop culture Greek ice cream at Evu in Legacy Village and try some great Greek. Okay, Jesse, how about for you?
One place that we have not tried that everybody's talking about is Rosie. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and so date nights are few and far between. So that's kind of next up. We love Cordelia, and we've been honored to be invited to be part of their 4th anniversary party. So we're going to make heirloom tomato ice cream, and then some sweet corn ice cream for them. We love pizza. Sense is always kind of on our radar that our go-to. We love Il Rione, really a pizza family in general.
Sure, lots of great spots, lots of great options there. Okay, I want to thank you for being part of our installment of the menu today in partnership with Cleveland Magazine. Jesse Mason, co-owner of Mason's Creamery, and Nicole Doria, owner of Pop Culture in Solon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Lots of options there to help you cool off during this heat advisory we've got going on today till 8 p.m. If you missed any part of today's show, you can hear a rebroadcast tonight at 9 on 89.7 WKSU, and you can find every episode of The Sound of Ideas wherever you get your podcasts, also on the IdeaStream Public Media YouTube page. To get the last word on today's topics, you can email us at soi@ideastream.org and find us on Instagram. We're at The Sound of Ideas. Yesterday, Case Western Reserve University professor Dr. John Broich discussed the historical origins of white supremacy detailed in his newest book. Tom wrote in, I agree that white nationalism is a reinforcer of capitalism along with Christianity. Their conflict is with tribalism, as in the way the natives used to live, the way all humans used to live, in a harmonious relationship with the earth. Capitalism is war against the earth for profit, and the reason authoritarian Christian nationalist movements are on the rise is because the capitalists need to put down their growing awareness of the consequences of their war on earth and its creatures. Tom, thank you for sharing your perspective with us. Tomorrow on The Sound Ideas, mosquitoes carrying West Nile virus have been identified in Summit County. We'll talk about how to protect yourself from that, along with Lyme disease found in ticks. And we'll talk about the nasty parasite making its way through the entire country's produce, cyclosporiasis. So join us for that. Also coming up on Monday, July 20th, you can join us at the Cleveland Metro Parks Zoo for our community tour looking at property taxes. There are a lot of reasons property taxes exist. They fund a lot of programs, and a lot of people are also unhappy about them. So we will be looking at all perspectives related to property taxes, what will happen if things continue the way they are, and what might happen with reform. We hope to see you there. Register at ideastream.org/community tour. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thank you for keeping the conversation going. We'll see you back here tomorrow on The Sound of Ideas.